I'm standing here in Luna County, New Mexico, in front of thousands of pounds of American-made steel, basically things that taxpayers paid for to see continuation of this wall that was abruptly halted by President Biden when he took office on January 20th. President Biden, this is your responsibility to keep our homeland secure so that the sheriff of Luna County and other sheriffs on the southern border aren't overtaxed, aren't overworked, having to do the job of Customs and Border Patrol agents here. This wall needs to be completed, and the material is sitting right here.
Joining me now, Republican strategist and attorney Amanda Makki. You may recognize her from that little video. Amanda, now I need you to clarify something I saw in your video there. We have obviously the wall, the tall part, and then there were those little X-shaped things. That looked like somebody could just walk right over it, or are my eyes deceiving me here?
They're not deceiving you. You can actually crawl under it. You can climb over it like a jungle gym. And then if you wanted to, you could just walk around it.
Okay, so what is the border control plan? That's an unsecured open border. Is there something there I'm not seeing?
You're not missing anything. And in fact, Customs and Border Patrol agents, they weren't really around. One drove through, but really they're focused on intake and processing. That's where the administration has them right now. So this is left to local law enforcement to have to protect the wall. To do Customs and Border Protection is now what local law enforcement in Luna County is doing.
All right, Amanda, is this now, I mean, obviously I care about this issue. Clearly you do. That's why you went down there. I'm going to set aside my personal feelings for a moment. You're a Republican strategist. Is this issue actually a loser for Democrats coming into the midterms? Do enough Americans care about what's happening or not happening down there? Or is this just something I care about, but I'm screaming into the wall?
They should care, and I'll tell you why. The sheriff that I met with is a Democrat, okay? And I told him, I said, I may ask you questions that may be challenging here. And he said, no question is challenging because we have a crisis on our hands, and clearly we're not getting the help that we need. So you have all these people in Luna County and New Mexico and throughout where these people are just walking through in the dead of the night. What's interesting about Luna County that's different about, for example, the lower Rio Grande Valley is the fact that you have women and children in the lower Rio Grande Valley who want to get picked up. They want to get identified. They want to get processed. They want to work their way through the system. In Luna County, you have hardcore criminals. Most of the people that are coming, according to the sheriff, are men. They're dressed in camouflage. They're between the ages of 18 and 40. Men who can traverse those challenging terrain between the state of Chihuahua and Mexico and Luna County. So you have a different type of migrant that is coming there, more of a criminal, maybe with a criminal past they're trying to get out of, and they're hiding on the ranchers' lands. There's a ton of land there, very easy to hide. So you're having an increase in trespassing, an increase in criminal activities. And what are they left to do other than the sheriff's office can process them and CBP ultimately has to come get them? But let me just tell you the most eye-opening thing that I experienced. I mean, you can look at me and say, well, she could pass for being Latina or Hispanic. When I drove through two checkpoints, two Customs and Border Patrol checkpoints, I was asked one question: are you a U.S. citizen? And when I said yes, they said, have a nice day. No ask for an ID, no request for where I'm going, where am I going to visit, do you have documentation, nothing. So if this is what Customs and Border Patrol agents are doing, doesn't that tell you that from on high, they're being told to look the other way?
Yeah, look, there's no question about it. I've actually had the same experience myself down there on the border. Amanda, all right, so we have an area uniquely dangerous, it sounds like, because we have military-age males flowing through mainly. Is it just the terrain? I'm trying to figure out where there would be one area where the military-age males, probably the criminals, are coming through and not the women and children.
I'm sure it's across most of New Mexico's border, but everyone's focused their efforts on McAllen and Donna and the lower Rio Grande Valley. So you just don't have anything but local law enforcement. And what the sheriff told me is, he said, we're down 5 people, but we're one of the poorest counties in New Mexico. Add to that the Democrat governor of the state just did away with qualified immunity, which basically opens up police and law enforcement to being subject to lawsuits themselves. That's just another way of saying I'm defunding the police.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me. Thanks.